welcome back to my channel. Today I bring you another episode of Entrepreneurship 101. This is the 4th episode, and today I am joined by the owners and founders of Social Saturdays, Eric Kumalo and Lisedi Felicite. They have started a platform to bring social people into social spaces through African Cuisine, and this event takes place monthly in different venues, and they're here to tell us all about their entrepreneurship journey in this particular industry. Thank you so much for joining me on my channel.
Thanks for having us.
Okay, so I was just gonna ask you to introduce yourself.
I am Lisedi Felicite. I am 25 years old of age. I work as a guest relations manager for one of the big hotels in the country. Eric.
And I'm Eric Kumalo, and I'm 26 years old, and then I work at a university as a student instructor.
Okay, so this platform basically brought culinary and hospitality, and this is like a merge of the two in form of an event. It's very seldom, I don't want to say it's very seldom, but I'm not used to seeing males in like the culinary or the hospitality industry. It's not something that is of male nature to be hospitable and to be like good in the kitchen, or according to what I know and what I've grown up to experience. So how did that come about for you? How did you end up in the food industry?
I studied business management.
Okay.
And then that didn't go well for me financial wise.
Okay.
So I couldn't finish. And then I got an internship to do food and beverages and also the culinary through a hotel group. They sent me to a university.
Okay.
I started there, and then I completed all of that, and here I am today.
So that wasn't really something you initially thought you would go into?
Definitely it
you just
wasn't.
landed up there?
I wouldn't have thought that I'd be here today.
And now being here, how does it feel?
It feels good. It's been a journey.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a very fulfilling journey with lessons and trials and tribulations.
And what about you, Lizzie?
Sort of kind of the same story with him.
Okay.
Post-matric, thought I was gonna go into school, applied at UJ for sports management actually, and then financially, bit of hiccups as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was fortunate enough to get a learnership as well, with hospitality, and I got that, studied for 2 years, and then started working, and ever since then, the sky has been the limit, nothing else.
And then how did you two meet?
We used to work together.
So you guys used to work together at the hotel,
Yeah.
Okay. And from that, how did then you guys discuss business?
Okay, maybe you can take that.
So the dream was always Eric's. He's always had the dream.
Okay.
Social Saturdays was his thought, his initiative. I won't lie, in the beginning I was not interested. He did tell me about it. I don't think he was looking for people as well. He was just telling me about the idea he had, and he ran with it for a while. It was good. I could see. I was supporting him as a friend. I'm coming to attend all the events. I've only missed one. So ever since, I've only missed one. And we had about over 10 already.
Yeah.
Over 10. So I've only missed one. And then when I started living with him, it's then when I really got into it, and I was like, okay, I see where this is going. I'm also a bit passionate. Can I come in and add a few of my 2 cents? And ever since then, we've been flying together.
Okay, and Eric has been kind enough to invite us to his home, which is where Social Saturdays actually started. How did you then expand into booking venues and hosting the events at the different venues?
Okay, so as it grew initially, I could see that I didn't have the capacity at that time to have it here always.
So was it like getting popular?
It was getting popular, actually, also amongst friends as well, because that's how it started. It was just the friends that would come, and then the initiative grew from there. So I then decided to add other spaces also, just to touch onto different bases, also like in terms of database and different clientele, because every venue has its own target market, and then I get to also tap onto those people. So yeah, I just chose a venue, and I won't mention where, but yeah, I did it for some time there, and then I decided that I'll take it like alternate between venues and not strictly keep it at one venue, because I feel that just becomes very boring at times.
Okay, so moving from having close friends who occupy your space and make it popular, how did you manage to market yourself to reach other people as a business?
It's been purely word of mouth.
Okay.
It's definitely been purely that, and also social media. That's where I would say 80% of my marketing goes. Yeah, also like just designing of posters that would relate to somebody, you know, and yeah.
Social Saturday started in your front yard and it moved to the different venues, and when you expanded as a business, you then also included guests, and you had live performances, you had people come and to showcase their talent.
Definitely.
And I noticed that when I went through like the guest list, I didn't actually recognize some of the people who were to perform live on your stage. Is that an initiative you guys have in place to like expose unexposed talent in South Africa?
I think also it depends on how keen the artists are to come and collaborate and also work together with Social Saturdays. At times, approaching somebody, it's always a matter of what are you going to do for me now, and never what can we achieve after a few months of working together, or after a few times, a few events, and you know, what could come out of a collaboration, the power of collaborating basically.
Okay, well, I actually like that collaboration because I don't think there's a platform for undiscovered artists yet in South Africa. Usually the people who get the most gigs are the well-known artists and musicians and such.
And also I think sometimes people, when they see somebody they don't know on stage, they'll be like, what's going on now, until they actually like a song or two into that person, and then they're like, oh, this is actually nice music or something like that. So yeah.
But of course, artists are not the only people you've collaborated with. I know at your recent event you also had a tattoo artist on site. So tell me more about that.
I've actually had them for quite some time. They've been coming to almost every Social Saturdays. It's an element that I've decided to add onto it because I've seen that people love it. And then also I used to have stalls. I am still also going to be getting stalls. It just depends on the venue that I'll be using at a time. So some venues don't really have the capacity to have people putting out stalls and selling crafted goods and whatnot. So yeah, it's those. It's arts and crafts and tattoos, obviously, which falls onto arts.
So if you'd like to get a tattoo and have a good time, definitely join the Social Saturdays. I mean, Mr. here got his tattoo made.
On Saturday already, yeah.
On Saturday, and it looks pretty. It looks great.
Thank you very much for this.
So I really didn't know that tattoo artists can be found at social environments. It's always been you go to. Yeah.
It's also good for them,
Yeah.
When I feel people make decisions according to influences. So if somebody influences you in a certain way, you are gonna make a decision that is favorable to that influence that you're getting. So some people, they see people having tattoos there, and then they also I've been doubting, so now let me just, Yeah.
Okay, well, I know a lot of people are skeptical about having business partners. Or, well, the interviews I've had before you guys were just solo people going into businesses. How has it been having a business partner compared to if you had entered this line of work by yourself?
Take that.
Yeah. So it does make things easier in terms of you don't really have much workload. I remember in the beginning when Eric was still doing it alone, he used to always be under pressure, sleepless nights, because he'd be doing everything. So what I've seen is just based on my observation. It's easier when he knows that he just has to solely focus on the kitchen work alone, and then service will be somebody else. I mean, it just makes things easier. In terms of obviously money as well, if you have to like spend money, you know that you can always go back to this person and say, dude, I just need like 500 rand, please, can you just assist with this? I need to just send out some more marketing. So I mean, it does definitely make the workload much easier. And also, we obviously don't really always know the same people.
Yeah.
So in terms of like getting like spaces to host events, I would have maybe a better relationship with a new venue than him, and then I would be able to get us the venue, and then we can still do it together. And it helps as well, like, to avoid conflict of interest. Sometimes it could be a place that I maybe work for, and then it's easier when he comes in as somebody from outside. So there's no like anything about me gaining anything. There's no proof because he's coming in as somebody from outside. So it does really make it easier, I think. But I mean, you definitely have to get somebody that also believes in the dream.
Yeah.
I think if somebody doesn't believe in the dream, then it's kind of pointless, because if they're only looking for the money, then it's not gonna help, because they're not gonna make money for the next 3 years at least, I think. So yeah, that's really how I see it.
So a lot of people go into business, going back on your points, to make money. And if that's not the reason why you're doing it, what is the reason? Like, why are you stressing yourself out, losing sleep, losing time, putting in a lot of effort to host these social Saturdays, and you know that the rewards are not yet monetary?
You see, the thing with this type of industry is that you need to build relationships, and your relationships are actually your money. That's the money that you'll be getting in the future.
Okay.
You might be making money even when you start up, but it might not be what you're actually looking for or what you were intending to make. But as time goes, you'll see that no, this is actually picking up. So it also doesn't help you digging a hole, and then as soon as you see that there's nothing down there, then you dig somewhere else again, and then you keep on having these holes that you just keep on digging and you're not finding anything. So just take it head on, go on, even if it takes you 2 years, takes you a year. I mean, it took me a year to actually see that Social Saturdays has grown. When we had the first birthday celebration in February on the 29th, the number that we received, and it was really like overwhelming to think that when there were days where you could only have like 5-10 people coming, to have 350 people RSVPing, and then 400 and something showing up. So that's something else.
And something that is common that I get from a lot of entrepreneurs is that it doesn't matter what your idea is, what you're about to do, as long as you start. And you started this by yourself first before you included Lisek. What encouraged you to take that step into actually starting this idea you had lingering in your thoughts for however long?
I guess it was just for the fun of it, basically. Honestly, to be honest, it was just for the fun of it. To also prove to myself. Also, when it comes to designing stuff, posters and whatnot. I mean, if I were to look at the first poster that I made and what I'm making now, there's a huge difference. So all of that just gives you the oomph as a person to say, okay, you can do this, you can do that. Why not? Just do it.
And what about you to actually join the company as a co-partner?
So the dream, definitely. There was more of the dream. As I say, it started off as just a thought, okay, I want to do this. And then as time went on, okay, I can see there's some traction going on. People are interested. also being really in like hospitality, it was easy to see that, okay, I'm forced to do this because I live with him. I have to help, you know. Like I can't ignore and turn a blind eye when people are here. And I mean, growing up, I was never really somebody that liked having guests. Whenever I was home and somebody come home, I'd be like, yo, this person is here again. So like growing up, I started getting into it, and I was like, okay, hosting people is actually not that bad. Like you're alone like most of the time, having people over, hosting people. So it's definitely like the dream. I started believing in the dream. I started seeing the dream going on, and I was like, okay, let me just close my eyes and go with this. Might actually go a long way. Can actually build a legacy eventually.
And this legacy, what does it look like? Does it look like more jobs for the youth? Like, what exactly is the goal?
I mean, there's a lot of things that are in the pipeline. From trainings to having merchandise. So there's definitely a room for growth. Consulting within the food and beverage industry. So there's different divisions within this. It's not just going to be an event all in all, but it will be an event that has a lot of plug-ins, solving our social issues as a communities and stuff. So there is really like a lot in the pipelines.
And I really love this concept. And when I was at the event, I could see the vision and I could understand. And it really is inspiring to see that two people can come and make, like two ordinary people can come together and make something so, you know, like it's actually quite spectacular from a guest point of view. Like I was truly impressed by what I saw. And I know that a lot of people want to go into different things in life, and this could be one of them. How would you encourage someone who wants to start something similar to actually just go ahead and do it?
I would say don't be afraid of asking for help. Don't be afraid of collaborating. Collaborate with people, even if it means nothing for you today, it'll definitely mean something for you tomorrow.
For me, I'd say build those relationships. You need those people, even if there's nothing in it. Even if you're just helping someone and you feel like, okay, I'm just helping this person but I'm not getting anything out of it, it's definitely those relationships. They'll come back and help you. Who knows, maybe that person might be the one attending, bringing 20 people to your next event. You know, don't ever underestimate anybody. Even if somebody's business or dream sounds like it's not even making money, believe in that. Like, it's definitely the dream.
And so basically, life is not all about doing things yourself. You should always try to include as many people as possible as you can.
Definitely. But also, you as you do that, you also need to understand first yourself, and then understand what the next person's role is going to be, what you need of them, and should they not come to that, then you know what you do.
Okay, well, that is it from the, I wish to call your CEOs, but if anyone's wanting to find you on social media, wanting to join your movement, attend your events, how do they find you?
Okay, so Social Saturdays has a page, an Instagram page. It's at _social.saturdays. And then I also have a personal page of my own. So whatever, some of the things that I share on the page would also be shared on my personal page at AERICK _Koskor. So Eric _Koskor.
Okay.
Same thing with Social Saturdays. It's at _social.saturdays. And then my personal page would be LS_LSD. I know it sounds crazy.
Wait, one thing I forgot to actually touch on is that I noticed that you had students working for you. So what is it with that?
Okay, so those are students that are part of the students that we train.
Okay.
And then they also really love the initiative. they always they even created a group for me.
Okay.
They always ask what's happening, what can we do. They're very driven, and yeah, I believe they are part of the team now.
And are you open to accepting more people who would like to volunteer?
I definitely would. I mean, obviously, there might not be a compensation plan, but however, there is gratitude at the end. Yeah, and it comes in different forms.
So if you want to be a part of the Social Saturdays crew, you can definitely contact one of these two gentlemen. And we have reached the end of our interview. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Entrepreneurship 101. I will leave all the details regarding Social Saturdays in my description box. Don't forget to follow me on my social media platforms at with Baratang on both Instagram and Twitter. And I've recently joined Facebook because everybody asked me to. So like my page there, and I will see you in the next video next week Wednesday at 12 p.m. Bye.
Hey, it is correct. Yo, it's correct.
And it's been starting.
I start.
Thank you so much for watching another episode of Entrepreneurship 101. I will leave all the details regarding the owners of... But because you guys are in the frame, you can't be distracted. Like, you can't be fighting it.
The fly. Yeah. Yeah.